Start! Finish! It's a tie! Start! Ready? Start! Ready?
So now that I showed you guys my top 5 of the co-op minigames Super Mario Party, let's go over why I thought each one was placed and where it was. So at number 5, we have Limp Potato. It's basically a pun off of Hot Potato, where you have to pass around a bomb around all your friends, which, by the way, there's 4 players you can play as, and then you have about 2 or 3 separate CPU members, and they also compete in the minigame. So if one of your CPU players wins, you also win. So in this minigame, you have 3 bombs going around the circle, and each time the bomb explodes, the circle will move in. A lot like a Battle Royale minigame and stuff like that, but it's really cool. So I picked this at number 5 because it's a very fun game that you can just pick up whenever you want to. It's really addicting. So number 4, we have Bumper Brawl. In this mini game, you have to spin your ball around in this arena and try to knock off all the other teams. Just like the previous one and all the rest of the minigames in this video, you have CPU players that will help you out as well. And the reason I like this minigame is because the speed that this minigame goes at is really cool, because once you start getting momentum with your ball, you just go crazy insane around this entire arena, and it's just really fun and addicting as well. And that's why it's number 4, because the replay value of this game is just so high. So number 3, we have It's the Pits. In this mini game, there is a giant pit underneath some crates, and there's a giant LED light that circles around the playing field. And in this minigame, if you land on where the LED stops, the gate will open, and whoever's in that lighted up area will fall down inside the pit. And last person who's left wins. So the reason that this is at number 3 is because there's a little bit of a way to cheese this minigame, which I do all the time now after figuring it out. But if you stand in the middle in between 2 of the gates that open and the light goes around, you can trick the game to thinking you're on one or the other, so you automatically live. But the hardest part is the last round of this minigame, because there will be 2 LED lights that are in the same exact playing field. So it's a horizontal adjacent LED light, so it's a lot harder to try to cheese it. But if you get the good RNG, they're on the opposite sides of each other, so you're basically good either way. So number 2, we have Train in Pain. In this minigame, you have to knock out all of your enemy team's allies to get to the very last person, which is the main character. And if you get them, that team is out, and you can proceed on to the next person. So the reason this one is at number 2 is because it lasts forever if you're good at it. So my gameplay, I had like 2v1, and I was the one person just running around the entire map for like 20 or 30 seconds. And I actually won, which is really freaking cool, because that's like the first time I've won something like that with a 2v1 and my side being on the deficit. So it was a very entertaining minigame to see, and you guys saw right before this, so I'm glad I showed off the entirety of that minigame. But the reason why it's number 2 is just because it's so addicting and fun, and it'll honestly get your heart pounding. And number 1 on our list was Just for Kicks. This minigame is basically soccer or football if you're from Europe or any other country besides the US, and it's really fun, just like normal soccer or football. It reminds me a lot of Strikers from the Nintendo GameCube, if you ever played that before, where you play soccer, and you have a team of other Mario characters. We have to shoot goals inside the other team's goal, and whoever scores the most points wins at the very end. So the reason why this is at number 1 is basically because I love soccer/football, and it's a really fun game to play all around. Super addicting. Anyways, guys, thank you so much for watching this top 5 video. If you did enjoy any point, don't forget to leave a like on this video, share on Twitter and Facebook. Don't forget to subscribe and hit that bell icon for notification purposes. I'll catch you all in the next top 5 video on the channel. See ya.